this. Okay, so this is the first stream since the release of Endwalker. Yes, Endwalker, the new expansion that just released this past, what, 3rd? I'm on that early access, so giving you an early look at some of the stuff if you don't have the early access already. So first things first, a lot of the things didn't really change in this patch. Generally, most of the mechanics are exactly the same. Some of the bigger changes would be to some of the classes, obviously. So, let's bring it up to speed on this. First class to change. The first class that we see a change in would be Monk. As you can see, Monk now has another AUI. Look right there. It looks like a chain, sort of. It's up here. That's new because now their rotations have been simplified to a certain degree. So your ability right here, Masterful Blitz, will now transform depending on whether or not you have Umbral, Solar, or a combination of whichever mix, which would give you the abilities we used to have before. They also took out all the fist moves for this class, so you can no longer register Wind Fist, Fire Fist, or Earth Fist. And they also took out the shoulder moves, so you can no longer rush into an opponent and stun them or hit them with an element. As an interesting part about that is that those were the fundamental uses of the Monk, and now that they're gone, the Monk simply is a simplified rotational skill. Other than that, all the other abilities remain basically the same. The next one to receive a change was Summoner, which I was just on. See now, yes, even if you're a high-ranking summoner, you are now forced to summon this Emerald Carbuncle. Now, some of the terrible sides of this. Oh, how's it going, bro? Hey, it's going great. In Dungeon Defenders. What? Oh, your monk is level 70. That's cool. That's what's up. So, yeah, with the monk change, I doubt that it'll be as difficult to play, and it actually did simplify it a little bit. Hey, it's you. You're like, it's me, bro. Oh, hey. 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 Okay. I see you, twins. Well, yeah. yeah. Laugh, haha. Well, I'm going over the specifics of this game real quick. Hold on. So, Summoner has changed because they buffed it. They severely buffed this class. I am so mad about it because this was my favorite class and is the first class that I started this game with back in 2013. And they severely buffed it to the point that you are required to have this Carbuncle out all the time. You can no longer summon Ifrit, Titan, or Garuda straight off the bat. Instead, you'll have to summon either Ethereal Carbuncle, which is just boosting Carbuncle, or summon Bahamut straight off the bat. Yeah, nerfed meaning that they took away a lot of the capability of the class. They made it weaker, or they just made it a lot worse. This class did have a lot of good variables, like Ifrit could be out 24/7, Titan could be out 24/7, and Garuda could have been out 24/7. Also, the chances of doing multicasting was actually a lot higher. Now it's a lot harder to even do a multicast. You're stuck with these long charge bars. Here's a good look at it. Like, that's a standard charge bar for that one. But let's say you were doing like Try Disaster. Well, now you don't have any poisons, so poisons are gone completely now, which makes this class a little bit harder to play. They do still have Pain Flare, so you can still do some double casting, but triple casting is completely gone. A lot of the aspects that you got used to if you did play it prior to the new patch, those are all gone too. I did enjoy having my Titan usually flowing behind me, but having to have Emerald Carbuncle is kind of useless. Emerald Carbuncle does not fight. It is purely a support class, so all it does is shielding, as you can see. It has no attack damage, and it does not aggro any monsters, so it's generally a useless summon. Sorry for those who love Emerald Carbuncle. Being a purely support class, meaning that it does not fight, it does not aid in battle, and it does not protect or heal. It's literally a character that, or a summon that just sits there until you tell it to do something. That makes it really suck a lot. Other summons, such as Bahamut, Titan, Ifrit, and Garuda, would actually attack and aid in battle, and they gave you special abilities. Even Phoenix aids in battle and buffs all your abilities to fire. Emerald Carbuncle doing nothing, yeah, for some it looks cute, but even back in the day it used to do air damage. Now it does nothing. So not only does it do nothing, and it's only a support summon, but you have to power it up to do nothing in order to gain access to your old summons. Your old summons have a timer on them now. I'll give you a hint. I'll let you see. This is Bahamut. Now we already know that Bahamut was an Elder Summon, which means, yes, it aids in attacks, it does its own damage, and it's extremely powerful on its own right. But now you get to share in some of its powers too, giving it access to different things. Like you gain all these different abilities. And that's a good thing. Obviously, like right there, you see that the character lag is terrible. We have a lot of people signing in last minute, so the game does tend to lag a little bit longer than normal. But at least it lets me showcase some of the abilities that came with this one. As you can tell, the timer on this one's already off. He's just frozen for the moment. There we go. Now he's gone. See, Emerald's back. The time limits are gone. But now you notice the gems are highlighted. So now we can gem summon, which is now their version of summoning. Which kind of, like I said before, kind of sucks a lot. Hi, Zero. Alrighty. So now with their gem summoning, we have it to where you can summon them particularly for 30 seconds apiece. However, they do not last that long. That is a misconception. See? Already gone, and it's less than 10 seconds in. The bonus, though, is that they give you an elemental attack. Like you see, I have Emerald Riot, which is an elemental. And then I also gain a Disaster, so like Emerald Disaster, which is nothing but regular Disaster empowered by air. And the same thing for all the other ones, like Titan and Ifrit will react the same as well. Phoenix does the same thing Phoenix used to do, just like Bahamut has a tendency to do the same things he used to do. So not that bad. Not that bad at all. Awesome. So that's what we got there. So this class has definitely been downgraded from its previous predecessors. Let's see. Oh, and I'm waiting for a Fate. You already know. Yeah. Uh-huh. So I am waiting for the Fate to pop up. The Fate I'm looking for is called whatever this book says it's called. Okay. The Big Boggly Theory, so I'm waiting for that to pop up. A quick way is to use this recommendations. I think I mentioned that before in my previous ones, but just in case for all the new viewers, this is what we're looking at. So yeah, Summoner has been definitely nerfed. I'm sad about it. It was one of my favorite classes. They bring in the 2 new classes. We received a new class. The new class, Sage. Sorry about the cough. So, Sage is a healing class. Primarily for just that, healing. And it pretty much sucks in a generalization. There is no rotations in this class. It is absent for all of its rotations. And on top of that, it's a class that requires a party. It is decent on its own, but not fairly strong. It's only strong right now because I'm looking at all these weak monsters. But as you can see, that was a high level attack and the monster still survived it. This class does not have a lot of small benefits, but it does have a lot of decent ones. It is a barrier class, just like Scholar used to be. Barrier class meaning it can also add a barrier to a player, like that, which can defend them for a certain amount of time and negate damage, just like Scholar would. But with Scholar, it seems to be a lot less forced. And with this class, it tends to be heavily forced actions. You have to literally power up your ability to double down. Hi, Shadowcat. Welcome to the party. Let me go ahead and open up a party chat if she hasn't already. Hey there, Mom. Okay, so Shadowcat is... or she was in our previous stream as well. So this is just showcasing the Sage. Sage is definitely probably not the best one, but definitely not the worst. As a barrier class, it's not very powerful. It's very hard to manage. There is no rotations in the class. Outside of just its simple action and transaction capability. Other than that, the Sage is not very much to look at either. Now let's go over to the other new class, Reaper. Reaper, I really like what they did with Reaper. The rotations are simplified yet effective. The choreography of each attack is kind of unique, and it kind of looks like a dance. It's easy to access the ghost, as well as the ghost's additional abilities to the character. This also has 2 preludes, which boost the character's damage on the enemy, as well as 1 shielding effect. It also has support abilities as well, to overhaul and enhance the party. Yes, this class is definitely everything it said it was going to be and more. And this class definitely has really good enhancements and very good for team building as well as solo play. So on a high scale, I really much like Reaper. However, my old favorite class, Summoner, being buffed the way it is and brought down, and they lost a lot of their functionality, kind of made me sad. Because now I am more tailored towards Reaper than I was to Summoner. And Summoner was my original class, as I mentioned before. That made me sad, but... Also, for the 2 new classes, they did bring in new glowing weapons for them inside of the Palace of the Dead and Heaven on High. There are new glowing weapons for the scythes and for the what are they called? Turrets. However, there are no previous weapons, and they did release brand new riot weapons for these as well. So for all those who are buffing their weaponry to try and get those magical glowing weapons that come with each one, This class as well as Sage will have a very limited unique weapons and new weapons to yet be revealed with the new patch. For all those interested in continuing the new patch, there are other streamers who are currently streaming each and every individual walkthrough of the new expansion. For me, right now, I'm just focusing on what I have currently, and that would be finishing off this last book for my summoner. After which, we will meet back on my next stream, and we will go ahead and pursue the next stages of the book, or maybe even switch to a different class and start the books on that one. So that's good. But until then, hey, Shadowcat, I'm in where am I? Hold on. Eastern Thalin. I'm waiting on this fate to pop, whatever it's called, the Boggly theory. You want to help me with it since I'm have to play the summoner for this, and it's been buffed to the point that it can barely stand on its own in a fate? I gotta go to a big Boggly theory. It hasn't popped yet. Your vial of blood. Oh. Have you picked up the 2 new classes yet? Shadowcat, have you picked up the 2 new classes yet? Not yet? Okay. And just to let y'all know, before the end of this stream, so after I'm done with this book and I go and turn it in and we access the next stage of my book, I will switch to the new classes and show you the rotations and what I was talking about. That way you can get a decent feel for them and get to see if you actually do enjoy them, or if you feel the same way I do about their playthrough. The rotations as far as the monk and summoner didn't really vary very much from their old rotations. It's almost the same. Small indifferences, as mentioned before, but still definitely something that for the monk would have benefited them because it helped the monk, but it definitely did not help the summoner. If anything, it brought it down. So wow, it's only been like 18 minutes, but it feels like forever. And there's only 2 fades up right now, Manifest Destiny and Brass Blade. Looks like there's a bad hair day as well. No, I'm just sitting. I'm chilling for the moment. I'm waiting until a big Boggly theory pops up. And I think it takes place in the center at the very bottom of this place. Hey, you got your new mount. which means you also got the brand new scythe, which is to cross over the current scythe, which I did not show to any of my viewers yet, but I'm pretty sure they understand, because when they go and pick up Reaper, their scythe is not going to look anything like mine. The scythe that I'm currently building is called Death Scythe. It is one of the new items that is given to the player if you pre-ordered the game and you have the collector's package. But some of the buffs that you can do before battle or after battle are pretty easy, pretty self-spoken. One would be the Arcane Crest, which is a shielding ability, which looks like this. And it's basically your own personalized shield, but it only lasts for like 15 seconds. But it can definitely have any damage that you receive during that time. You have Whirl of Death, which is a boosting ability that boosts 10% damage on your opponent. And then it's probably better to get on a flat land for that one, because there's a big, beautiful seal that it puts on the ground. Another one is you can do instant translates, which is Hell's Ingrace and Ingrace and S-Grace or whatever. It's inward or outward. So that's a pretty good one. Alternative to that, we also have, it does allow you to instacast the Harp, which is a far range spell, which traditionally takes a lot longer to cast. See? And it has some AoE, Spinning Scythe, Nightmare Scythe. They go in that rotation exactly. Spinning Scythe, then Nightmare Scythe. On top of that, you do have your soul abilities, which allow you to rip the souls out of your opponents, which will feed the Grim Reaper, which you can then summon. And the Grim Reaper is a temporary summon. It's for specific attacks. And it does have its own cycle of abilities as well. And after summoning the Grim Reaper, you gain a boosted Scythe ability, which is Guillotine, Gallows, or Gambit. But Guillotine is a long-range cone attack, while Gallows and Gambit are singular attacks that do differentiating damage depending on who and what. Simple attacks are Slice, then followed by Waxing Slice, then followed by Infernal Slice. Or Infernal Slice. Pretty straightforward. Good rotation, solid rotation. Spinning Scythe followed by Nightmare Scythe. That's a pretty good solid rotation as well. Definitely want to put Whirl of Death or Shadows of Death on the opponent. Those are your buffs. Shadows of Death is a singular buff for one opponent, like if you're doing a boss or something, and Whirl of Death is for multiple opponents at one time. Your Soul Scythe and your Soul Slice. Okay, Soul Scythe is a AoE slicing ability that allows you to collect the souls of anyone your scythe goes through. But if you're dealing with one opponent, you probably want to use Soul Slice because it attacks only one person and doubles the amount of souls. Yeah, there's the one I needed. So we're gonna switch back over to Summoner here. There we go. And we're gonna get down there to Big Boogly Theory, which is what I needed. Which I see Miss Shadowcat has already started for me. Summon out this Carbuncle. Yeah, that was another thing that I wanted to touch on. Since both Summoner and Scholar are linked together, did Scholar take a buff as well? No, Scholar did not take a buff. Actually, Scholar remained exactly the same, and the only one that got buffed was the Summoner. So I found that was very interesting in the tense, or the way that they did that. And they decided that Summoner may have been too overpowered on its own, that they decided to take away some of the functionality. Or maybe just the thought of having an additional summon as well as being able to poison might have crossed them as a little bit too OP for a character. And thank you very much, Miss Shadowcat, for helping me with that one. That was awesome. Okay, so now I have to go to Southern Tallinn for 2 of my monster hunts. And then Northern Tallinn. Okay, and you said Copperville Mines on hard. We can definitely hit that up, because I also have to do Pharaoh Sirius, and I think it's Pharaoh Sirius on the hard, or is it usual? It is Pharaoh Sirius, the normal one. Okay. So do you want to do the dungeons first, or do you want to do help me with all the other ones first? Shadowcat? Dungeons first. Okay, for dungeons, because of the summoner being nerfed the way it is, I'm going to go ahead and do most of the dungeons as Reaper. Just because the nerfing on Summoner makes it hard to do anything by itself. For your dungeon, I will not get it. That is right. But for Pharaoh Sirius, we will run that dungeon with me as Summoner. That way I can still clear the log in the book. Now, we need yours for Copperville Mines on hard. Oh yes, you are the party leader. I'm just waiting on you to promote. If you're going to promote, if not, then it's setting it up. Okay. To set up, go to Duty Finder, go up to the little cog in the top left hand corner and click Undersized Party. And here we are. As you can see, Reaper and Sage come off at start at base level 70. I have been playing with the Reaper a little bit, that's why I'm 73. But for a dungeon like this, it's more than enough. Anything basically above 50 is more than enough for this. Now with Shadowcat being an archer, she can hit from long range, plus she is also a bard, so she can also attack them with sound and music. These will all aid in her abilities. And as you can see, I just used Soul Sight to completely destroy those little Spriggans. And just like with everything else, the Reaper also has its own combos and moves. Oh, look at that, a minion straight off the bat. Do you want this one, Shadowcat? It's just a slime puddle. And that's the singular shadow of death. You're frozen. Oh. Oh, I get it. It's that it's because they're trying to, the server's becoming over impeded. A lot of people get off of school around what is it, 3, 4, 5, so it becomes extremely hard for players to actually play. They are talking about opening up another server just because, but no guarantee on that. And there's no definitency there either. Yes. Okay, there you are. Okay, so you on the stream you kind of just disappeared and reappeared over here by the chest, but that works. That works. Okay, it might be because the Wi-Fi on the PlayStation 4 has some tendencies to differentiate. However, I can go ahead and I'll call you later about boosting the Wi-Fi on your PS4 so that your connectability is a lot higher, so you won't have those issues anymore. See, my connection right now was poor, but I boosted it yesterday, and now I have excellent connection. So that is a thing. And I'll explain that later. And I'll go ahead and let you know about that. No, you left those innocent people behind to die. Alrighty. And just to let y'all know, I'm actually passing on all the gear just because I'm not really a fan of collecting it. And I believe Miss Shadowcat is using it to attain seals from her grand company. We'll go more into that later. If anybody has any questions, please post your question in the chat. I will definitely get it, and I will explain it further in detail if need be. And by the way, that was a scene skip. You can go into your settings to automatically set up scene skips for things you have already seen before. An enemy approaches, and the enemy is already dead. That's awesome. We killed it before it even got the AOI out. Or the UI. I don't know why I'm saying AUI. Clearly not. Anything in Central Fallen? Not currently. And now we're having a generalized issue. Even though my connection is listed as excellent, it looks like I'm having a U issue. Yeah. My connection to the server has been booted, and the reason why I booted was because I've been in the system for at least over 2 hours, and so yeah, just as I was exiting that dungeon, it let me go back. They did mention this in the beginning that they were working on the servers. And that the servers are slow at the moment, but they're trying to fix some of the settings and some of the updates so that it can speed up a little bit. So that is actually mentioned as soon as you pop in. They give you a pink notice that says, "Hey, we updated some of the policies and procedures for server play," and that's basically what they were doing. They're going over to try and help people log in and get to play. I still think, just like they did last time, with North America only having 3 servers, that we would probably need to have more servers. There are also servers in Japan, as well as the UK and a few other areas. Yes. And just the same, I believe yesterday I was logging in, and it took me almost longer than her. It took me 2 hours to log in because there was 2,300 and something people waiting in queue. And obviously right there, as you can tell, it didn't kick me out of the game. It booted me right back into the dungeon at the end of the dungeon, because it was a server issue, not an issue on my behalf. Okay, so now that I am back in the game and I'm still in the party, I'm switching to Summoner. So we can go ahead. You said what? No, I have I have 2 monsters in Southern Thalin, and I have 1 monster in Central Korthus. I have the dungeon Pharaoh Sirius. I have another Fate inside of Central Korthus, I have one levy in Northern Thalin and one levy in Central Korthus. So I have 3 things in Korthus, 2 things in Southern Thalin, and 1 thing in Northern Thalin. If you're in Korthus, I have 3 things in Korthus. So we can go knock those 3 things out. Where's Korthos? Oh, right here. Korthos Central Highlands Camp Dragonhead. But it is nice seeing, you know, people actually joining the live stream. That's pretty awesome, y'all. This is my 3rd stream, so actually having people join it now is still pretty good. Obviously, I'm expecting more people later, but for right now, it's mostly just a touch and go kind of basis thing. And it looks like for the moment my moving is actually interrupting my mount. So I can't summon my mount right now. Crocky Road. And my book can't be executed at this time either. I think I'm having another a server glitch just now. Some of my UIs are inactive, and a decent percentage of them are reporting things from other areas. Hold on, Crocky Road, is that popping up here? Yeah, it's right there. So at least my recommendations is still updated, but as you can see, my companion that's supposed to be following me is no longer following me. So yep, just like that, it was definitely a server issue. No, I'm not doing Crocky Road. I just did that to check to see if it was the same as on the map. So yes, the server is definitely having its own set of issues today. And with all the people probably trying to sign in. Because I've been queued at least twice so far. So right now I'm queued, or I just got booted out because of the server. And then it's going to queue me back in. And then I'm going to get back in. This becomes almost ridiculously hard later in the afternoon. The closer it gets past 12, the harder this will become. So I am queued in for 64. Yeah, but it's putting me in right now. Just to take into mind, your queue number is the ticket you pulled. This does not mean this is the ticket or number of people. This is just how many people have pulled a ticket within the last hour. So I pulled ticket 64, they were on 63, it hit 64, I'm in the queue. So I just joined back in. And as you can see, I'm on my mount because I called my mount. And I had a mount interaction where my mount wasn't spawning. So, now my mount is... I am on my mount. So that is good. Okay. I need to go to Natal because I have Swift Beaks to kill. I need the fate known as the Taste of Fear. And I need to pick up White Brim. Oh, look at that. Server just separated again. Yep. Server broke out again. So it is clearly the server is crashing. Don't know why it's crashing. You seem to be okay, right? Yeah, for me, the server closed 3 times. And the server is closing. It's not done, it is closing. See, now my ticket number is 66. Remember, it just pulled 64 a couple of minutes ago, so 66 is about to pull here soon. So I'll probably be right in just after being kicked out. I had to kill 3 Swift Beaks. Since I'm not in the game, it doesn't count if you kill them. But I need to kill 3 Swift Beaks. I need to pull a fate. I mean, not a fate. Pull a levy from White Brim, and then I also need to do the fate, the Tears of Fear. Yeah, they're in the tall. Yeah, they're in Natal, which is right next to the crystal. So it's like right over here. So you're already there. Yeah, you're in Natal. Swift Beaks are over here. There you go. I'm demounted, but we have to take into consideration the server might break again, and I might lose connection again. So we're just gonna play this by ear. Probably not good to go into a dungeon if the server's doing this, but it would still be okay for these little tiny things. We'll take as much time as we need to get this book done. It's sad that I gotta say, like, 3 years in the making. But yes, it took me 3 years to get to this part. And I'm on the last book of this book, of this weapon. I'm on the last book of this weapon. Lord help me if the server tries to kick me out or stop me from finishing this book. Because so many times I've procrastinated doing this book. I need, okay, we got the Swift Beaks are done. Okay, so we have the levy and we have a fate. Fate is the Tears of Fear, and the levy is in White Brim. So since I don't see the fate, I'm gonna head out to White Brim. If the fate happens to pop between here and White Brim, I will go to whatever fate that is. I'm sure you and I are not the only ones having this issue. I'm sure many new players or people who are joining are having the same issue. What'd you say? Yes. No. No, I'm heading that way, but I think it's too far away for us to actually land there and start it. 5 minutes left. We probably won't be able to do anything. But Lord help us, we're still gonna head out that way and try. I'm gonna try something. And maybe it's not that bad. Maybe we can knock it out in less than 3 if we get there in time. I'm almost there, and it's almost down to 4:59 left, so I might be able to knock it out in 3. But with the summoner being buffed the way it is, I don't think I can knock it out by myself. But we're gonna give it the what do they call it? The try, whatever it's called, something try, the royal try. We're gonna give it the almighty. Let's give it a go ahead, see what we can knock out. I'm gonna pull as much additional assistance as I possibly can, because we already know I'm not gonna be able to hit this out. No poisons or anything. This class is now buffed to the point where even a regular fight like this could literally kill me in the center of the fight. And the Psychic is still as weak as it used to be, so by removing the poisons and leaving Psychic useless, this class cannot stand by itself. But we got Shadowcat here, we got my Chocobo here, we got this useless Emerald summon here. Which, by the way, Shadowcat, if you have not been paying attention to my stream so far, the Emerald Carbuncle does not fight, does not integrate, and does not work in battle. It is purely for support, and the only support, it does not do that either. The only support that it does is provide shielding if demanded to. So only when I tell it to shield me will it shield me. Other than that, it does nothing. It just stands here and looks pretty. That's what it does. Yes. Carbuncle has been reduced to being just an item. It does nothing but shield when requested to shield. Once you boost Carbuncle, then you can use your regular summons, which is Karuta, Titan, and Ifrit. However, they are now timed. They do not last forever, and you gain elemental attacks based off of which one you have. They disappear within 10 seconds of summoning them, and then you just use their basic elemental attacks until they disappear. Or until their timer goes out. Or until you use up too many. It gives you 4 attacks in general on a timer of 30 seconds. So you have 30 seconds to do 4 elemental attacks, and the summon that's on the field will only help for 10 seconds and then disappear. So they really buffed Summoner to the point that it is the worst class to play at this point in time. When it used to be difficult to play, but if you knew how to do it, it was like the best class you could play. Now it's buffed to the point that it's kind of unbearable to play for the moment. Which makes me sad because it was my favorite class. And now it's down in the listings to where I don't think I'll be playing it as much as I used to. Okay. So now it's down there with Marauder and White Mage. There's nothing wrong with Marauder and there's nothing wrong with White Mage. I just don't preferably like those classes because White Mage has nothing traditionally unique. It's just healing. And then Marauder is just a Basham class and really squishy and has no decent defenses. It does have good healing though. Okay, so I need to pull up Don't Forget to Cry. But that's from Northern Thalin. Hold on, what's in Korthus? Hold on. No Big Whoop. Okay. Okay, for this one I have to be by myself because it is a guild heist quest. So I will leave the party real quick. Let's hope I don't die. If you want, I would very much appreciate if you could follow me with a healer. Because even though you're not in the Fate with me, you can still provide healing from the background, even though we're not in a group. Because healers are able to not only heal people in their party, but also people who they see are suffering. So if you are a healer, go try to pitch in. Help as many people as you possibly can. Because there are new players and there are people that are struggling, and people die a lot too. Healers can resurrect anybody who dies, and they can heal people even outside of their own party. So it's definitely worth it. Okay, it looks like it's actually over on this side. Yeah, right there. It looks like she also pulled the same one. And with us not being in the party, since we're not in a party, we can't share it. So her pulling hers and mine pulling mine. That's just the way it's going to be. There's going to be like multiples popping up. It's going to be a little bit confusing. Because I can't attack her monsters and she can't attack my monsters. So yeah, that's a her monster. Yeah, you gotta kill the wandering bogies, yeah. And they're disguising themselves as ogres. So, are these giant Dopplers. And there's only 2 of them that you gotta kill, and I just killed my 2. Oh, no, there's 3. There's 3 you gotta kill. And I killed 2. So, got 1 left. Pretty sure that's him. I know, I'm just really good at guessing. Yeah, that was him. So, all 3 of the ones I picked turned out to be the boggies. So, straight off the bat. Let's turn this in. All done, perfect. As you can see, with doing those, you can get seals as well. So that was about 136 seals. So not bad. I mean, simple missions. Sometimes they're even one-hit kill missions. So not too bad since you get awarded for each one you complete. And yeah, she's riding around on a crab. Okay. Now back into the party. And all I have left is Southern Thalin and Northern Thalin. And we have this one dungeon. Pharaoh Sirius. Traditional. If it pops up, yes. Wait, you said calamari. Doesn't that pop up in Shasta? Pharaoh Sirius has the siren at the end. Okay, so this is generally it. Not all that amazing. We could just horde them all together. I have an AoE attack. Just like lead them all to the end, and I'll use my AoE, Try Disaster, and that'll just kill all of them. Try Disaster does not do what it used to do. It used to put poison on all the enemies. Now it's just purely an AoE attack with I think it's like double damage or something. Nope, just basic simple damage, 50% less damage, but for an AoE. It does look prettier though, I'll give it that. They did make it look pretty. Try Disaster, they changed up the design of it. So they changed the design, and now it doesn't add poison. Instead, it's an AoE attack. That's why I said it definitely looks prettier now, but it's still just as useless as it used to be. Try Disaster used to be like a go-to, like it was part of my old rotation. Now I can't see myself needing to use it for anything other than AoE damage. Okay, so we do have a potential for double casting, but it's just not as big as it used to be. Your potential double cast is still with Rune 3 and Pain Flare, but you will no longer be able to do Rune 3, Rune 2 casting and stuff like that. Rune 2 is now, it does not work, it just switches over to Rune 3. And Rune 4 has the same recast timer as Rune 3. So, your potential for triple casting or quadruple casting is gone. If you are wanting to do a triple cast, my recommend for a summoner triple cast would be Rune 3, then hit Energy Siphon, and then use Pain Flare. That is the only time that you can do a triple cast effectively. Alternatively, a double cast would be Rune 3 and then Pain Flare immediately, since it has no recast timer. and that's about it. It used to be where you could do Rune 3 and then Rune 2, which would be a perfect double cast, and that was recastable. And then if you did Rune 3, then Rune 2, and then hit it with the Pain Flare, that would be a triple cast. That would be circumstantial because you could use that 3 times in a row, or 2 times in a row. And then it used to be that you could do a quadruple cast by doing Rune 3, Rune 2, Energy Siphon, and then Pain Flare. So you could potentially do a quadruple cast in a matter of 3 seconds, which allowed you to do a massive amount of damage pretty quickly. But with the fact that they revamped their combat system for the summoner, these potential cycles are no longer useful. So you're stuck with only Rune 2 and Pain Flare, which again you can only do 2 times in a row, so you can only double cast 2 times. They really made it harder to be a summoner. Now, if they decided to go ahead and let's say they wanted to go back and just retranslate this class back to the way it used to be, just this previous one, not back in the beginning, but the one before this update, then I believe that it would probably work better. At least just for combat for the character. The summoning system's not all that, but I could see where there's potential for growth. Because it would be awesome if they did release a plethora of things. Like for one, we have Ifrit, we have Titan, and we have Garuda. It would be awesome if after Phoenix, it gave us 3 new gems, like the Water, Thunder, and Ice gem, and we received Leviathan Eggy, we received Shiva Eggy, and we received Rahaman Eggy. That would just be perfect for tying in the last bit of A Realm Reborn. As far as Eggies, and people have been wanting new Eggies for the Summoner class since forever. And with a new revamped system, I could see that that would actually work better when bringing in those 3 new Eggies. Oh, it's doing that weird dive thing that it does. You gotta kill its chicks that are on the ground. Okay. Now kill it. All done. You have to take into mind that the siren at the end of this also summons people to grab your feet, so... Being a long-range spellcaster doesn't really affect me. And she's an archer, so it won't really affect her either. No, I just left it on. There's no point. Like, the gas does little to no damage to us, plus on the retrospect, the gas doesn't really trigger anything. It's mostly just to turn off these, the orbs of gas that come down. If we were doing this dungeon properly and we had a big team, then it would be harder to dodge these. In which case, yeah, probably turning them off just like that would help save the party. But generally, since they don't really do much and we're 2v'ing this dungeon, oh, the monsters are triggered by area. So if you walk up more, it'll trigger monsters. They don't really spawn out of the gas clouds. The gas clouds are just an area damage effect. If they touch you, they blow up, and that causes damage to your party. Or anybody near you. And there we are, the final boss. Yeah. The server is acting up a little bit. On mine, however, you're moving smoothly. So it could just be that the server's acting up on your side, so you may have an issue coming your way. And there we go, that's another one out for me. So all my dungeons and fates are done. Now I just got Northern Thalin for the levies and Southern Thalin for the monsters. And then this book will be done. You said what? What's that? Sure, I mean if that's one that you need, then let's go ahead. Let me switch over first. Like I was saying, Summoner just doesn't hit where it used to anymore. My new favorite is now Reaper, because the effectiveness of it, it actually runs just as smooth as Summoner used to run. So but it kind of reminds me, because they say Reaper and Lancer share gear and stuff with each other. So it reminds me of like previous things. However, like the only gear that they share is some gear, not all gear. There are Reaper specific gear just as well as there is Lancer specific gear as well. But some of the gear that they do share between each other. What was that? Like, I heard a lot of ching ching, but nothing happened on my screen. So I was like, Oh, something's supposed to pop? It says something withdrew from the battlefield. Carbuncle. Okay, that's mine. And that was just a delayed sound. Okay. Oh, I also got... Oh, that's what it was. Haha. Those sounds came from my email. I just got 2 Mog mails. Just landed in my mailbox. That's what that was. Yeah, Mog mail. That's where the Mog Station or the Moogles send you stuff. So I have 2 Mog mails to go and pick up. You can receive Mog mail from friends, family. You can also receive Mog mail from other players, and you can receive it from the Mog store itself or other locations. It's a good way to help out friends, to send them things that they may need that you might have more of that they don't, and let's say they're not online at that moment. Then you can go ahead and send them some Mog mail, and they'll receive it the next time they come online. So it looks like I got a brand new emote and a new scythe. Cool. There's an emote. And let's take a look at this new scythe, shall I? Okay, so it's a Black Bosom Void Reaper scythe. It's only a level 1, so that means it's just for appearance looks, I suppose. Let's go ahead and try to let's see what that looks like. We're gonna cast the glamour on this. So we're gonna cast the glamour on my current one to look like the Black Bosom Rose. There we go. Okay, so this is the scythe that that one witch had, that we had to destroy in the deep crop dungeon. So yes, this is the scythe that you can actually, they have this scythe available for other classes as well. So it's not just the Reaper. You can put this scythe on Dark Knights, Black Mages, White Mages. You can also put it on, who else? Who else has this scythe? Marauders. So there are quite, and Lancers as well. So there's quite a few classes that you can actually give this scythe to, and it'll cover up their original weapon, and it'll look just like this. It'll look like a scythe. It won't have the effect that it's having right here when it opens, because that's unique to the Reaper. but it will be fully open for the other classes, and you can still use it. It's a pretty good gimmick for the other classes to throw people off if they think, oh, I know what you are. You're a Reaper, and be like, nope, it turns out I'm actually a Black Mage. So that right there can be fun to go ahead and do. So it looks like because I don't have my death scythe on me, I'm stuck with this version. Or I can go ahead and remove the casted glamour on it, which will turn it back to its original state. This is what my scythe originally looks like. So this is the first scythe that you get for this character, and it's definitely cool looking. I'll give it that. Has some aesthetic appeal. Looks really nice. Reminds me of Bloodborne, actually. So like the weapons in Bloodborne, that's exactly what it reminds me of. And it is aesthetically pleasing, but to be honest, I prefer my death scythe even over the normal scythe. And it is in fact a deep gold war scythe. So sticking with the deep gold weapons that you can go ahead and purchase from the Mog Station, or not from the Mog Station, but from the market board, or you can gain deep gold weapons from, I think it's either a Lakeland. Okay, at the Crystarium, there's a person that sells you deep gold equipment. So yeah, you can get them from there. Okay, so that's what I got. I got a new scythe, and I got a new emote. The new emote I got, let's go ahead and take a look at it. Is Pantomime. So I take it it's like a panicking mime. Oh gosh. Well, I guess the mime has some realistic structuring to it, huh? That is actually pretty funny. I do enjoy that one, yes. Oh, and by the way, y'all, if you wanted to send gifts to people, because the Mog Station does have a gift promotion. If you were to gift an item to somebody, it will give you a code. You can send that code to whoever you want to give the gift to. And you can send it through their email, or you can receive it to your own email and send the code via another service plan. I don't think they'll let you send it through the Mog mail, but there's a possibility they could. So I don't know. Get creative. Send gifts to people. Have fun, I suppose. Okay, so we are here in South... Is this South Shroud? Where are we? Oh! I was over here like, why aren't you putting us in a dungeon? And then I realized it's me. I'm the problem. Okay, I promoted you to leader so that you could do that. Okay, there was a little bit of a delay. I heard it just now. But we did mention that the servers are acting wonky, so I'm going to keep that into consideration. You're definitely drawing in all the attention, aren't you? Oh, you got caught by a bear trap or something? Yeah, they start off at 70, they do not start off at 50, because they are to pick up just before Shadowbringers. So anybody who has a level 80 class can go and pick these up. You have to have completed Shadowbringers, and you would have to meet the level requirement in order to pick these up. But these classes are playable through the whole story of Shadowbringers. So even if you haven't completed Shadowbringers, you can go and pick these up, as long as you have a level 80 class. These classes are actually preferred to be played through Shadowbringers into the next patch, but for those who have already completed Shadowbringers and there's no need to go back through it, then these classes will be definitely available for you. You just need to have the proper level class character to go and pick them up. The Reaper is located in Ul'dah, and Ul'dah at the basin of the Adventurers Guild. And the Sage will be effectively available in Limsolo Mensa lower decks, just above where you got Dancer. That is, if you went and picked up Dancer. If you're new to the game, then you may have some time before you can get Dancer, because Dancer can only be picked up with a level 70 class, and that starts off at level 60. And same in reverse for a few other classes. But with each patch, the previous class or the brand new classes that come out are usually just 10 off of the max, so they're at the starting value of the previous patch. So, as mentioned with Reaper, it starts off at 70, which was the beginning of Shadowbringers. And then with Red Mage, it started off at... What did Red Mage start off? Oh, I think it was 60. No, Dancer started off at 60, which was the beginning of Stormblood. Reaper, or Red Mage started off at 50, along with Samurai, which is the beginning of... that was the beginning of Haven Sword, and then Machinist, Dark Knight, and the other one started off at 30, which was the beginning of, or the end, well, it's technically the beginning of Realm Reborn, because the Realm Reborn started off at level 1, but because Haven Sword, you actually have to boost up your characters to level 30 to get their classes. They started off with the first class abilities with no prior marker. So that's the boosting classes for all your stuff. In order to get them, you have to be at least, in the very least, 10 levels higher than the class itself, or be at the finishing level. Which means that if you were playing a Realm Reborn, in order to get Machinist, Dark Knight, and Astrologian, you would have to be at least level 50 to pick up those level 30 classes. If you, for any reason, are or have not picked up your Samurai and your Red Mage, then you would have to be a level 60 class to pick up those level 50 classes. If you have not picked up Dancer, or what other class came with Dancer? It was Dancer and what? Dancer and that's a Gunblade. So if you haven't picked up like the Gunbreaker class and the Dancer class, then you will have to be level 70 to pick up those level 60 classes. And then if you are if you wanted to get your Reaper and your Yeah, if you wanted to get your Reaper and your Sage classes, you need to be level 80 to pick up your level 70 classes. Naughty Nuka. So, that's all it is. Once you're level 80, you can go pick up these classes. And then, of course, buff these classes up to 80, because that's the starting level for the new patch. So you definitely want to start off, at least with the accessibility of having everything like I do. I want to be able to play any class I want during each patch. So all my classes are 80, except for these two new classes, which I'm going to buff up to 80 before I jump into those dated, the new dated stuff. And with them starting off at 70 is actually very generous, because then I don't have to work so hard, and you can use the earring that was part of the pre-order to actually buff the levels on these and help you level up, because it is really hard getting to 80, and now it's going to be even more extraneous just trying to get to the level 90, which is now the new cap. Every class did receive new abilities. However, like I mentioned before, they only 4 classes received structure or a restructure. Reaper and Sage got brand new structure classes because they're new, and then Summoner and Monk got restructured. So they have different abilities, and their abilities have been updated to a newer version. My character has been stunned because I'm going to get thrown. Yep, there we go. Thrown just like I mentioned. The hand's over there. What is that? So now I only have what? I only have I have 2 monsters to kill and 1 levy left to do. Yes, I have 2 monsters. What do you mean? No, that's a person next to me. They're popping things. Southern Thalin. I have an Emolja. I have 2 different kinds of Emolja. And then inside of Northern Thalin, I have 1 levy. Let's go to the Southern Thalin. I'm not looking for anything. Oh, yeah. I'm not looking for anything. What are you talking about? No. I'm looking for Emolja Scavengers, and I'm looking for Zonarch Pugilis. Zaha Arc Pugilis. So... There's Amenja Archer, or the Emolja Archers, and then the Zahanarch Nodnarb Korinzu. Wait, why wasn't that one highlighted? Hold on. Oh no, they're not called archers. They're called Amalja scavengers, but they're still archers. So they're more towards the gate. Yeah, they're not on the outskirts. They're more towards this gate area over here. There we go. I found one. So I was right. They're by the gate for the Nodnarb. I just killed one, so. And there's another one right there. So that's 2 down, one left to go. I think it's down that way. I think that is one I'm looking at. Tomographer. Lancer. You're at a Nodnarb pugilist? Or pugilist? Okay. I'm terrible at pronunciation, y'all. I'm sorry if y'all get upset by the way I'm saying things. So I just need one more scavenger, and then yep, that's it. That is definitely it. Yep. One more scavenger, and I still need 2 more pugilists, so I don't know why you just took off. Oh, there's another one over here. Okay, his dot popped up. As long as I can see the dot, then it counts. If I can't see the dot and you kill it, it's the same as you killing a random monster. Alrighty. And that's all of the pugilists I need. So now we just need to get a scavenger. They're by the front door. And sure enough, there's one right there. There we go. All done. So that's it for that one, and then now I just have a levy, and that's a Northern Thallen. Camp Blue Fog. Camp Blue Fog. Okay, let's see. Northern Thallen. Camp Blue Fog. It's weird because it says Camp Blue Fog, but there is no blue fog. It's just a very burnt and black area. See? Oh, I guess there is a semi-blue fog in the air, but I think fog is like primarily white. Yeah, it's don't forget to cry, and it did not pop up on my roster, so I am going to have to grab a few of these and just do them randomly. So we're gonna have to grab everything we can, go do one, come back, view it, see if it pops up. Yep, but I don't have that one yet, so we're gonna do all the ones beside that one. And you're free to pop them whenever, because whenever you pop them, I pop them. It activates for both of us. Try one, because I don't have that one. Let's see, I got subduing the subprime. I take it you don't have this one. Yeah, because I didn't see a card pop up above your head, but one popped up above mine. So that means I have this one, you don't have this one. And that's it for that one. And then we got Necrologos. Do you have Necrologos? Ugh. No, these just give you experience and money. The guild heists or the grand quests give you seals. I'm gonna click yes, and I'm gonna go back and see if he has the don't forget to cry one. And yes, he finally has it. So we're gonna finish off whatever I do have and knock out this don't forget to cry. And then I have no idea where I'm gonna put this book. This is a destination one. Yeah, circling the Cerealia. It's just a destination knockout one. Nothing important about this one. Oh, this one I don't like. Someone's in the doghouse. It's a delivery mission for a dog. We have to get the dog and take it back to where it needs to go. So we gotta beckon it back all the way to where it came from. But I do, so I'll do the beckoning and you can kill the AIs. We got a few of them. And that's it for that one. Okay. Now let's go ahead and knock out this one that we have. Which is Don't Forget to Cry. That's the one we came to get in the first place. Boom. Apparently it's a kill him kind of thing. Got 3 tiers, and we gotta locate a Milky Eye. We gotta kill 2 of the Milky Eye ones. There's one, a Boldar. 1 dead. And 2 dead. Alrighty. Go back, turn it in. Okay, Miss Shadowcat. This was the last book I had to do. What do I do now? Do I go back to Mordona? Yes, and it's all done. This was the last book I had. So all the books are now finished. Okay, so I go back to Mordona, give her the last book, she gives me something. Jazal's in Northern Thalin. Yeah. Hold on. Let's go to Mordona real quick so we can test this out. Because I still have the book. So I'm supposed to hand the book to somebody, right? Yeah, but the book is complete. But this is the last book. I don't have all 9 books, I just have this 1 book. And then it says present your weapon and some kind of crystal to Jazal, right? So after handing this book back to her, does she give me a crystal? Yes, she said, thank you for returning the last book. Make your way to Hers Mill and present it to Jazal. So I did have to talk to her, and now I go to Jazal. Where's Jazal again? Falgar Float? Alrighty, teleporting to Falgar Float now. Okay, I am now at Falgar Float. Jazal should be over here. Alrighty. You have a great day, Shadowcat, and thank you for joining me. Okay. For all you who just started or been here before, after completing the first patch of A Realm Reborn, this is where you get your relic weapon, is over here. Volgar Float, northmost region. Or I should say northeast or northwestmost region. Up here is... this is where you get your weapon. Okay. Gerald will create your relic weapon and give you tasks. Complete all his tasks. Once you're done with all his tasks, he'll have you go to Jazalt. This is Jazalt. Okay. So what it's saying is I cannot have it on me. So we're going to do that again. It's Atma, and we're going to turn it into an Animus. So yes, we're going to enhance it now. So now it is an Animus. Okay, so what am I supposed to do now with my book? That is the question, right? So now I don't know what I'm going to do with this book. Hold on. Let's go figure out what the next steps are. Okay, so this is the guy I have to talk to about something to do with my weapon. So speak with somebody near the bonfire. Who's near the... There's nobody here. Wait, which bonfire? Okay, that's the bonfire. Oh, I gotta speak to this person. Don't like talking to people as I speak with blah 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 back in Revenant's Toll. So look, now I gotta go all the way back. Isn't this fun, y'all? Now, we might be going a little bit over 2 hours here shortly, but we're gonna knock this out somehow. It says, hey there, buddy. Now it says to obtain, what does it say? Obtain 3 bottles of superior enhancement ink from show them the hard button. Okay, so we gotta go over here. Okay, so this is the... No, that's a Nia. Here we go. We're gonna do other... No, we're gonna do enhancements. No. Special arms. There we go. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Superior ink. And we need a total of 3 per weapon, right? Yeah, per weapon. So, I have 12 weapons in total, right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there are 11 weapons in total. 3 for each one. And I think ahead, y'all, so I'm just doing this ahead of time. Superior ink of enhancement. So I only need 33. I need 33 of these. We're gonna make it 35, just to be even. 35 of those. They're only good for relic weapons. So, no need to be hasty on that. We'll just run it through here. Oh, and to get those Allegan seals, all you do is do missions that give you Allegan stuff. Oh, and it said to show it to somebody. Who are you showing this to? Oh, we have to go all the way back there? Are you kidding me? Right now. Gotta keep on going back and forth to Blackbrush Station. Some bullshit. They're talking about something to do with the Alexandrite. We may not have time to go over that in this episode, but One man's treasure is another man's treasure. Ooh, it's all shiny. Shiny and glowy. Cool, so now I come to this guy and he'll give me maps that I can then use to get what I need from the aetheryte stuff. So I no longer need to have that book equipped. I am officially done with the books for this one. As you can see, it has been upgraded from Atma to Animus. So I am now on the next stage of Animus. And that makes it all shiny. And as promised, we will go to my personal estate, and I will show you what I meant by the cycles of the Reaper versus the cycles of the Sage. So you can get a good, decent feel for them. First one's first, we're gonna go with Sage. Okay. Now through Sage. Sage is pretty cool. Basically, you can attack, or generally look at, pull out your gear. Looks like little airplanes actually, but you can get different ones that change the appearance or the look of them. And generally Dosis is like attack mode. Laser beam attack. You have Dithritia, which is an AoE, and then you also have Toxicon, which I can't do right now because you need a party member, but basically it allows your little planes or currents to rotate around the enemy while shooting them in various locations. All of these provide healing to whoever you put Cordia on. Cordia, you can actually use Styria to increase your Cordia, and then place Cordia on somebody. Cordia allows them to gain healing effects based off your attack. So when I attack, since Cordia is on me, I will gain health. In addition, you have Dosis, which is a healing ability, and you have Prognosis, which is also a healing ability, but that's an AoE healing. You have Phlegma, which is a kind of like a diagnostic explosion. So it does do damage to surrounding people, and you can do it twice in a row with no charge weight. Cordia will also heal you based on the damage dealt. You also get Haima, which is a shield that protects against damage and nullifies damage, but only for a couple of seconds. So 14 seconds you get nullified damage. And whoever has Cardia on them will also receive the same thing. So they will also get 5 stacks of nullified damage. Okay. In addition, we mentioned Storia. Storia increases your Cardia, so it makes you heal better or stronger or faster. Now it's like Sysis 2 or Sysis 1 actually causes res. So, or not res, but regain. So if you have a party member next to you and they're going down in health, you might want to cast that. It puts some nice regain on them, in addition to everything else you have going on. And it is an AoE regain, so everybody gets it. But it only lasts for a couple of seconds. Zoe, and we're going to go into here for the description of Zoe, because I don't really use it very much. Zoe, increased healing magic potency for your next healing. So it's actually a booster. Zoe is a booster for your next healing spell. I probably would use it occasionally for diagnosis, because it's a booster for healing. So, and of course it goes away as soon as you do that. Okay, here are your big ones. They're called the whole abilities. Okay, you have the Druotol, which is like the uh-oh, holy crap, I'm about to die, singular heal. So, the Druotol. You can increase it using Zoe. You also get Ixiolhol, which is a massive AoE, holy crap, we're gonna die. Which can also be boosted with Zoe. You have the Turohol, which is a really good one. Turohol allows you to throw a shield and some health towards a teammate that's about to die. It works very well. I would recommend it probably on tanks. You see, the first one was healing, the second one is actually a shield and MP. So it really helps. And then the last one is Karachol, which is, which actually I would say Karachol would be great for like the party, because it's a massive shield. And it provides a shield to everyone in your party member within a certain range of you. So, and just like that, it's a gigantic shielding effect. And the shield does, the big shield does not last, but everybody receives their own personalized shield for 15 seconds. So it's a pretty decent one. On top of that, you have maybe some of the not so expected ones, like Iniro, which is just to raise them. Icarus, which is to fly to their location. It kind of gives you a temporary angel wings and boosts you to wherever your ally is to help them. Alternatively, you do have the Uraska. Uraska enhances your doses, diagnosis, and prognosis. So it increases those to Uroskin diagnosis, Uroskin dosis, and Uroskin prognosis. So if you do Uroskin dosis, it provides a poison over time. If you activate Uraska again and you do Uroskin dosis, it provides a singular heal with shield. So pretty good. If you do Uraska prognosis, it will do a massive shield with massive heal. So those are pretty good. However, Uraska, though it takes up none, it actually increases the MP value of each one of these. So it is very taxing, because all the MP goes from 400 to almost 900 MP for each cast. So you gotta be careful when it comes to MP gain. In addition, you have the final one, which is, it's Pepsius, which, funny enough, is kind of reminds me of the Pepsi Man logo. But it says, if you have anybody who is under the effects of Uraskin diagnosis or Uraskin prognosis, they will not be healed by this. It says restores HP and HP to all nearby party members by removing your diagnosis and prognosis. So when it removes them, it will give a cure potency of, if they're under diagnosis, it'll give them 450 and remove it. If it's prognosis, it'll give them 350 and remove it. But it does say targets under the effects of these will not be healed. So target's not under the effects of these. So if I did not cast, let's say I have a diagnosis like that, and let's say you're not under it, well then you won't receive FFXIV, which is the heal. Of course, it will be removed, so the next time I cast it, if you haven't gotten it recasted on you, you won't receive any healing from it. So that pretty much sucks. Next one, Reaper. I did mention the Reaper cycles being better or more equipped. We gotta reset this first. Give it a second. Put up our weapon. There we go, Reaper. So for Reaper, I did mention that the cycles are pretty low. So just Slice, Waxing Slice, followed by Infernal Slice. Really decent. Very nice. We have Shadow of Death, which is that singular booster that I mentioned before. The damage will do 10% more damage. We do have Spinning Slice, which is then followed by Nightmare Slice, which is really awesome. You also have Wall of Death, which does the same thing, but it's an AoE damage booster. As mentioned before, you do gain other things, like alternatively, you do have Soul Slice, which takes that and gives you back some souls. But you have to wait about 30 seconds before you can cast the next slicing ability for any souls. So we just did Soul Slice, so we'll give it about 15 more seconds, and then we'll cast Soul Slice so you can see the difference. Soul Slice is a singular ability to gain souls, and then Soul Scythe is a multi-ability to gain souls within an AoE of your character. So still takes that. Boom. Any people that you hit, you receive 1 soul from each one. Each soul is worth 10 points towards your gauge. So where Soul Scythe gives you 2 souls for 1 hit, Soul Scythe can give you multiple souls from multiple people being hit, but it only produces 1 soul per person inside your AoE. So it could be better, it could be worse, depending on what's going on. Let's see, Arcane Crease, like mentioned before, is an individual healing effect. It provides, I think it's 4 seconds or 5 seconds of temporary immunity up to 30% of your health. Really good in a clutch moment, not very good in an overall fight. Let's see. We got Harp, which is your spell, it's your long range spell. And then you have your Hell's Grasp and Ingress, like mentioned before. It just teleports you closer or further away and allows you to recast Harp immediately. See? And it's pretty good. It's a 15 yalm, so it's really far outside their ranges so that they can't target you. Okay. For long-range Reaper abilities, you have Grim Swath, which basically he spreads a deadly poison across the field. It's an AoE that your Grim Reaper does. So let's look at that. Grim Reaper Swath. And you see that poison that just went across the floor? It deals damage over time, and it affects all of them initially. And you can follow it up with Guillotine, which is a long-range cone effect, so it goes like that. So that's a long-range cone effect from your character outward. Really nice, really pretty, very aesthetic. You'll get that bar back up. Now, I did mention that your Grim Reaper does have a cycle. The cycle is primarily between Gambit and Gallows, and interferes with your Bloodstock. Your Bloodstock is your Grim Reaper's basic attack. So let's do Bloodstock. 1 hit and then disappears, right? Well, now Gambit and Gallows are accessible, and so is the Guillotine. But we're going to do Gambit. Gambit will change Bloodstock to Unveiled Gallows. So now it's a stronger Gallows. But instead of you performing it, the Reaper will perform Gallows. So let's have the Reaper perform Gallows. 1 hit, and then it brings down some dark orbs of damage. That's pretty good, huh? Gonna do a Shadow of Death, Whirl of Death, and we're gonna try and bump this back up because we're gonna have to reset our friend here.
because we do not have enough damage points. Usually when you're fighting, your damage points will continue to grow. And as you can see, the Gallows is reactivated, because as long as Gambit was activated for 8 more seconds, Gallows is active. After Gambit disappears, Gallows will transform back. Yep, Blood stops. Okay. If we were to use Blood Stop, of course it activates the other abilities, which now you can see, if we continue attacking, it actually negates those abilities. So you have to follow up with another attack that is designated by the Reaper's enhancement. So let's try it again. Bloodstock, and we're going to use Gallows this time. So there's our version of Gallows, and as you can see, it changed his ability now to Unwreathing Gambit. So now he's going to do Gambit. So let's go ahead and see that. It's a 3-hit ability. And then it allows us to do another thing. So we can follow up with Gambit, which our Gambit would be enhanced. If you use a Reaper ability followed up by a Gambit, it'll increase your next Gallows. Your next Gallows, not the Reaper's Gallows. And if you use the Reaper's Gallows, it'll enhance your next Gambit. So let's say we're using Unwreathing Gallows, we're going to use regular Gallows, and you see now our Gambit is enhanced for the next time we use Gambit. So they do cycle back and forth. The problem here is that they don't provide enough souls for your scythe. So you will have to switch between and use your soul cuts and soul slicers to switch between the two. As you see, it is a cycle, but the soul slice abilities are not always active. For a general AoE help, because you do have AoE helps, you got Arcane Circle, which basically boosts your attack damage for your character, it doesn't weaken the enemy. See, Death Shadows and Whirl of Death, which is this, that actually makes the enemy weaker to your attacks. Now Arcane Circle increases your damage by 10% and the damage of all of your allies who are near you. So it's a big, huge booster to a party, and it lasts 20 seconds. So you can do that, plus giving him Death Design, and now your attacks will do surprisingly more damage. Like a great amount of damage. I like to do a temporary shielding when doing that weird Shadow of Death or Whirl of Death. The reason why is because you can get hit during that, and if it's a knockback type of hit, it can interrupt you from doing that. So there is a chance they can interrupt you from doing your Shadow of Death or Whirl of Death. But a very slight chance, not because it has a small charge up, not a big one. That whole time that you're spinning your scythe is basically a charge up. It's not big enough to cause any actual problems. Hearth is the one that has the biggest charge out of this class. So everything's pretty swiftly made, pretty fast, equally talented. I like the arc of the way the character is moving while performing the attacks. It's just very well choreographed. I like it. It's, like I said, this class definitely took the holster when it came to what used to be my favorite class. Summoner was my favorite. I started with it. I loved it, but with its new abilities being presented the way they are, it has become almost unbearable to play. Which, sadly for me, I loved it. I loved the way it was. And this new version of it, I'm gonna have to get used to. Because the old version, the one prior to this, like not the old one, but the one just before this one, was probably the best version or upgrade with proper buffs that they had on that class. And the poisons were definitely helpful when getting through things. Now that there is no poison integrated into the class, it's kind of harder to handle the class, since the original class was designed to be an archaic type build with poison, because they relied on poison since their physical attacks were so weak. Now their physical attacks are still weak, but now they have no poison, so it makes it harder for that class. Either they're going to come in and strengthen the attacks, or give them a secondary attack, or maybe some kind of cycle for the summoner that will help it. But alternatively, the class is harder to play now, and with the summons not being able to actually provide help to the summoner, it made the class harder to work with. But just because it's harder does not mean that it does not have room for improvement, and does not mean that it can't get better. Like mentioned before, I would love to see it if they were to put in some brand new Eggies. Maybe the Eggies, as referenced before, Leviathan, Rahamun, and Shiva, just to cross off the last of the primals inside of A Realm Reborn. And that would give us like the whole feeling of, hey, I got all the summons from the first patch of the game. That would be cool. And you could have it to where, you know, Bahamut, and then follows up Bahamut with Ifrit, Garuda, and Titan, which is what they do. And then after Phoenix, like, follow that up with Rahamun, Leviathan, and Shiva, and then have it cycle back to Bahamut. That would be awesome. And it could give them ideas for integrating new Eggies into the lineup, and maybe some new Elder Eggies into the lineup if they wanted to. So I think that would be cool. And it wouldn't mess with any of the other cycles, and it wouldn't affect the other fight patterns of the original character. But those are just referenced out there because they're putting time limits on them now, rather than having them walk around 24/7. I do notice that there is a Ifrit 2, a Garuda 2, and a Titan 2. I don't know if this is going to change their appearance, or if this is going to upgrade their use, and maybe make them last longer. I don't know. But we're going to have to wait and see until I reach level 90 as a summoner to see how the number 2 aspect of each one actually affects their gameplay. But right now, as far as they are with number 1 status, they barely even last 10 seconds. They don't really help in the battle. The most they do is just give you an elemental and then disappear. And that's not what I think they intended them for. I loved it when they had overdrives. I loved it when you got to tell them, hey, do your overdrive, and they would actually do it. And then they had specific attacks that were designed for them. I don't mind adding a time limit, but they did take away the functionality of them a little bit, I feel. And that kind of like just put a distaste for that class in general. When they had it to where you actually had to work with them, and you actually had to tell them what to do and when to do them, and that the effects were pretty decent and they stuck around for a little while. That was pretty good. But at the same time, I get it, people were abusing it. They were using Titan more, they were using Ifrit more, or Garuda more. I definitely walked around with Ifrit, but I would switch depending on which one I needed and which circumstance I needed them. But yeah, I get it. I get why they might have done it. It was a little bit overpowering. I mean, I could go through a whole dungeon with Summoner by myself. At least halfway through a dungeon. With it being synced or unsynced, I was able to do a few things. Just generally because I would get my attacks off before they could land theirs on mine, which meant that I took a whole lot less damage. And I dealt more damage even with the restricted damage limit that they have. So I was definitely boosting out more damage, and that I can see that being like a little bit overpowered, because for one, you have a creature helping you, and you're and you have poisons that deal damage over time. So I can see that. But by restricting the poisons, the original class being mostly a poison-based class. It changed the original anesthetic for the class, because a bio and miasma came in handy when you were an arcanist, and now that you're a summoner, you don't have those. They also took away the poisons from the scholar as well, but scholar has a replacement poison. They have that that interesting biomechanic thing. So that's the thing I'm interested in right there. Is just like they took it away, and there's no talking about bringing it back. So I don't know what they have in store for this class, but let's hope they bring back some of the genuine feel of the class. Alrighty. Other than that, and like I said, this did last longer than 2 hours, but that's all, y'all. And I'll see you next time. Just remember to be safe and be mindful of others.